T-Mobile is upgrading its network at a record pace. We were the first to bring 5G nationwide, and now that Sprint is a part of T-Mobile, we're turning up the speed, upgrading over 1,000 towers a month with ultra-capacity 5G to bring speeds as fast as Wi-Fi to cities and towns across America. And we're adding more every week. Coverage and speed. Who says you can't have it all?
We're live. We're live. Do a dance, Ross. He's just staring like, what is happening? Guys, we are live with Mr. Ross Marquand. Welcome. You can't hear me. I can't hear you. You muted Zoom, not the live stream on Twitch, maybe? Danny, can people hear us?
It's weird.
Ross, you muted yourself. I can hear you. Okay, so you're good there. Leave that there. You want
I'm not joking. Can you hear me? Can you hear me?
We hear you. Yes. Can you hear me? Can you hear me? I hear you. I know. Ross can't hear me.
Maybe I should log back on.
No. I hear you.
You can hear me?
Yes. Everybody.
I can't hear you at all. Okay, weird.
Well, I'm gonna chat. Guys, we're dealing with male version of Ravasa. What did you mute? Look at the...
I didn't mute. I promise I didn't mute.
Okay.
Wait, let me, sorry everybody, let me just log off and log back on. Maybe that'll help.
Okay.
Sorry about that.
Guys, I'm gonna keep talking. Yeah, Ross Boomer, I know, guys, he muted himself. So I told him to watch the Twitch live stream, but to mute that one so that it wouldn't interfere with the Zoom, and I think that screwed something up. Boomer Ross, tan lindo. Anyway, he'll be back, so now it's just me hanging with you guys. Guys, I did my nails. If you know me well, I never do my nails. The joke was that I'd only done them 5 times in my life. Now it's been more, obviously, because one does them for events. But, maybe I'll do yellow, like Ray's soon, because they're really cute. Hi, Ree Smart. Good to see you. Yeah, so anyway, good color, right? It is neat. Is that his new name, Boomer Ross? I mean, it could be. Laura. Hi, Laura. Who's Laura? I don't know. Okay, Ross is back. We'll see if we drag him into the Zoom. I don't know what's going to happen. Man. Can you hear me?
I cannot hear you. Sorry.
Oh, Jesus Christ. What happened? All right, guys, bear with us. We're going to figure this out. I'm
just going to take these out.
Oh, yeah. Do that. Duh.
That's not working clearly.
Can you hear me now?
Yeah. Sorry. I don't know what's not.
It's okay. Something happened with the wireless. That's cool.
So weird. Sorry, everybody.
We're back. So I said all horrible things about you.
Yeah. Cool. Sounds about right.
Yeah. I was like all excited and you're just like. Guys, Ross Marquand, the fabulous Ross Marquand is here with us. Thank you so much for accepting my daytime show interview that I'm doing here on Twitch.
Oh, thank you for having me. It's lovely.
Guys, for those of you who don't know, which you should know, Ross is Aaron on The Walking Dead and Red Skull in Avengers Endgame, and what's the other one called?
Infinity War.
Infinity Wars. That. War or Wars?
Oh, Infinity Wars.
Thank you.
Infinity War. Oh, God, now I'm forgetting.
Infinity Wars? Guys, tell us.
Infinity War.
Singular War. Okay, I trust these people.
Maybe just one war.
Yeah. Cool. Thanks. Hey, I thought it was many wars that they were fighting.
Well, Infinity War is kind of repetitive if you say plural. Infinity implies.
True.
So it's.
Well, what if there are many wars in Infinity?
Well, there are. Yeah, I mean that's the whole thing is that there's like multiple timelines and multiverses. I can really. Would you like to go into that? As I can.
No.
Okay.
I think that we'll get lost in that tunnel, and I'm here to highlight you and your life and your fabulous talent more than Infinity War or Wars.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah. How are you, man? How you feeling today? Are we doing okay? Do you have some coffee? I hope you do.
I do. You have a Bowie cup? That's nice. I have my Garth Marenghi's Dark Place cup, which most of you probably will not know, but it's my favorite comedy. Yeah, I'm good. I just, been working my butt off here in Georgia, and started season 11 of The Walking Dead, and we're very, very excited to get it all out there for everybody. We got some really fun storylines coming up this year, so I'm excited.
That's so cool. Dude, you're looking, I like the beard, and the hair is a tiny bit shorter. Has Aaron seen a clipperoo? That's the right word.
When I got on the show 7-8 years ago, I had a pretty decent beard, and I was like, "Can I keep this?" And they were like, "No, you gotta lose it." So ever since I've got on the show, I've been steadily, whittling away at the producers, begging them to let me have my beard back. So now I finally have it, and I'm very excited. Because
when you don't have a beard, oh my gosh, baby face, you look so young.
Yeah, I don't like it. Also, I mean, this is like a trimmed down beard, if you can believe it, because a few years ago on the show, it was like out to here.
Yeah.
Like, you look terrible. Like, you have to shave that back.
So you guys are living in a zombie apocalypse, though. Like,
that's what I'm saying. We should.
When would you be like keeping it all cute?
Yeah, they were like, "We need you to not look so terrible, so we're gonna, give you a proper haircut and beard trim." I was like, "All right, well."
I mean, I did see some nice red carpet pictures of you, because Ross Marquand Canada, Ross Marquand Mexico, Ross Marquand Spain has all commented. The fan clubs have commented on this, and they've posted a lot of your pictures doing red carpets. And one of them, you have a beard, but it's like very trimmed down. And if I may say so myself, it looks quite sexy.
Thank you very much.
It's a good look. It's a good look. Man, people are so excited to have you here. And Italy too. Yes, absolutely.
Yes.
Italia. So, hey Ross, were you in Phineas and Ferb? Were you? Probably, right? Talk to me about that.
I met Dan and Swampy.
Yeah, we have some mutual friends that work for Disney that create shows on Disney, like Phineas and Ferb. What did you voice for Phineas?
So there was a Star Wars special. This was 2023. I want to say it was like the year before I got on Walking Dead, and there was a Star Wars special where I played Han Solo, and I've done Han for several projects over the years, but they were like, "I think this guy does Han Solo," and I was like,
"Let's call him for that."
It was cool.
What does your Han Solo sound like?
Well, I mean, it's just like it's a younger Harrison, so it's like, "Hey, Phineas, we got to go back to the Millennium Falcon. We got to get back there. You understand?" He's just like a little bit more cocky and, I don't know, more energetic, I suppose. Like, now Harrison Ford is just like very gruff and like, "We have to get out of here. We have to find a way back." It's just more complex and gravity. I
geek out over your facial expressions when you voice these people, because I see Harrison when you're doing it. It's almost like the side nose twitch thing that he does. It's uncanny. You're like, I know. Oh my gosh, look, Alma Loves Mike is the one who started Ross Marquand Mexico, and she's here. I'm guessing Alma is a lady, but could be a duder or a they, which is great too.
Hello.
Yeah. Thank you so much for starting this. Yo, so my question for you is, when was the first time that you did a character or an actor impression or sound alike that you go, "Oh, I'm pretty good at this," and then all of a sudden you did another one, and then all of a sudden, like, what were you 5? Were you 12? What was it that like hit you?
I think I was about 6, but it wasn't the first one that I thought I was really good at. It was just the first one I did, which was Johnny Carson. And my parents, money was very tight in the 80s. Like, a lot of families were going through crazy recession, and like I think my dad, he told me he made $12,000 one year for a family of 5. Like, that's how tight money was.
Holy cow!
We were just freaking out because, like, I mean, not us so much, but our parents were just like, "Are we going to lose the house? Are we going to have to, like, how are we going to make ends meet?" And I noticed that they were very upset all the time, and like the one thing that got them out of their kind of sad headspace was Johnny Carson. And I picked that up as a younger kid. Like my brothers used to beat the crap out of me, and like everyone like uniformly watched Tonight Show, and it made everyone laugh. And I was like, if I can be like Johnny, the family will be happier. Then they won't beat me up as much, you know, like my brothers. And so that's just, I was like, I need to emulate him. And it worked. And like they were happier for that time. And I was like, oh, I should do more of these. And that's when like I started doing like John Travolta and all these other people.
Wait, you do John Travolta? I didn't know that one.
John Travolta. Okay, I do John Travolta. All right, I do John Travolta. It's just a very sort of like clipped, you know, like I do like young, like Vinnie Barbarino, like, or Saturday Night Fever, John Travolta. So I was like, before I went through puberty, I was able to do a lot of these guys a lot easier, you know?
Oh, that's so funny. But you have a crazy control over your voice and where you place it. You know, is it up here? Is it here? Is it here? Or is it back here? I'm amazed.
Well, thank you. You have this too, I think.
Thank you. I don't have, I make a lot of imitations. I make the imitations. That is me thinking in Spanish and trying to speak it in English. But I think that you have a crazier command of understanding how to break something down, you know, and I think that that's really, really fascinating.
Well, thank you. I stay indoors. So
tell me about your process. I know you've joked to me. You've said like, "Oh yeah, I watch a lot of YouTube and like imitate these people." But like, when you sit and you watch, you know, Matthew McConaughey, he might be an easier one for you. Like, if there's a difficult one, like, what do you do to break it down?
To be honest, I don't ever go into it thinking like I want to try to impersonate this person. Like it's sometimes if I'm really struck by a person's performance, that's when I start to like ponder, oh, I wonder if I could sound like them. And it just kind of comes naturally. The only times that I've ever gone out of my way to learn somebody is if it's like an audition for a voice matching job, like where they're like, we really need you to sound like this actor, and can you do that? And recently I was asked to do Ben Affleck, and I tried my best, but I couldn't do it. And I was like, you know what, I'm not going to even waste your time with this audition. But most of the time, if I like somebody's performance, I really like study how they hold their body and their face, and like you can really tell how their sound's going to come out just by how they hold their body. Like James Gandolfini used to sit very much his neck, like his head was up forward, you know, and he talked through his nose, but his vocal cords were constricted because he was always sitting too far down in front of it, you know. If he came back here, it would probably sounded a bit more almost regal, you know, almost British. But like because he was down here, it was always right forward here. Like, what are you doing here? I'm gonna break your legs. You know, like that's going to inform the sound that comes out of you, just like a woodwind instrument would, depending on how you hold the instrument and how much you're pushing into each section.
Is it easier to click into some? I feel like McConaughey is broad, so it's so easy to, and especially after his darn car commercials, you know, you could. It's kind of like it's almost like a cartoon that's easy to imitate, right?
I think the broad McConaughey is easy to imitate, but I think his voice is a lot more nuanced than people give him credit for. And I think my goal with all of these impressions is to not do the caricature. Like I think that I auditioned for SNL 8 years ago, and I think the people who do best on SNL are the ones that do the broad caricatures. Yeah. The ones that are like super specific. Like, I mean, arguably some of the best impersonators never really got a chance to do many impressions. Like Jay Farrow, I think, is probably the most accurate impressionist SNL has ever had. Jay Farrow and maybe Phil Hartman to some degree, but like, you know, in terms of accuracy, Jay probably has the most accurate impressions, but he rarely ever got to do them because they were always pushing him to go broader. Yeah. And I like it when it's more like, I want to really believe that I'm talking to that person. So McConaughey's interesting because like he gets written off as this sort of like, you know, goofy Texas, you know, philosophical guy, but it's his manner of speaking is very nuanced, and I love hearing him talk. I could listen to him talk for hours, you know.
With Gabby, we recently came upon some silly movie, the Gold Rush or something.
Oh yeah.
But it is broad. I mean, it's whatever. We were bored, you know. It is He is a cartoon. Like, he's specific, but he's also like, his southernness comes out so much that.
Yeah. I mean, I'm not saying that these guys, like, I think he and Walken and Pacino can certainly fall into, like, their own tropes. Like, they can just, like, kind of be caricatures of themselves. But I think when they're doing their best work, like True Detective or, what was that one? Well, he was great in Interstellar, of course, too. But, like, it's just, you get to see those little nuanced, thought process. And I just love it,
How did you click into Brad Pitt's mouth thing? Oh, but I mean, give me your McConaughey. I'm all for it. I'm gonna geek out for you.
Yeah. It's Carolina. You're from Colombia, right? Now, if memory serves, they got some damn good coffee over there, don't they? They got some real nice coffee. It's all right. Yeah, all right, cool. But you understand, my favorite coffee in the world that I ever sampled was from Peru. And I don't know what it is, but the soil out there is really just perfect.
Look, Matthew, I really appreciate this, but no, not Peru. I mean, you could have said Costa Rica, but like, come on.
I think actually Peruvian coffee is the best coffee I ever had, honestly. Sorry.
I don't think I've had Peruvian, but I'm happy to taste it. Yeah, I'm Colombian, so I'm like, I buy Colombian coffee, but my cousin who's Colombian lives in Costa Rica, and he's like, sorry to say it, but Costa Rican coffee is the best.
Costa Rican's very good, but I gotta say, Peruvian.
Costa Rican is good. It's huge.
It's the best coffee you've ever had. Okay. Also, Thai coffee. Thai coffee is very good. Okay. Thai coffee is tremendous. It's the best coffee.
Look, seriously, Thai coffee's really good.
Thai coffee just has a shit ton of like sweet stuff in it, and that's what makes it, what it is. Somebody just asked about your Antonio Banderas. That is uncanny to me because you're white. And I think you do an amazing job. Like, you and Eric Bauza. I'm like, how in God's name? I mean, he's got a little ethnic in him, so I'll give him that. But
okay, thank you.
No, your Antonio is incredible. It's incredible. Like it.
Thank you. Yeah. Oh, sorry. Someone's like, oh no, Trump impression.
Yeah. Sorry.
No, I love. I mean, Antonio's got one of those voices that's so rich. It's just like he's another guy that I could just listen to for hours and hours. Like, he has this way of speaking where everything is, sort of, he's very languid. He enjoys every word that comes out of his mouth, and it's like he's like formulating sentences. I don't feel like he's ever had like an uncool moment in his life. I get the impression that Antonio came out just like smooth as hell and was just a cool guy. He's like, "Hello, mommy. I would like some leche," like he's smoking a cigar maybe. I don't know why.
Oh my God, amazing. So Timberwolf, thank you for rating us with a party of one. Just so y'all know, I shout out all the subscriptions and fun bits cheered and all that stuff at the end, so we can have a smooth sailing conversation with the guest, but I will do that at the end. So thank you though for, depends, without milk is great, with milk is great. You guys, are we talking about tea or coffee? Guys, could you focus on, Antonio Banderas, like coming out of the, sorry, they're going off on a tangent here.
See, fucking parrot. Yeah, without milk. See.
Yeah. Mercy, you're off focus. I know that Starbucks ran out of mocha lattes today, but like, come on, make your own. This is what I do, okay? We're in a pandemic. Rosito, you're freezing sometimes, just FYI. I don't know if your internet's like a little, but suddenly you freeze and I hear your voice keep going, but your face is like this, so that's...
Oh, sorry. I don't have the best internet out here.
Oh, Georgia! Yeah, we were going to go into Brad Pitt, personal faves. You're like, yeah. Again, do you... as an actress, I think that I'm not too intellectual about stuff. And with languages, I'm not too intellectual either. When I learned Italian and then when I was studying Portuguese in Brazil, to me it was like, oh, I learned that and that makes sense. And you conjugate it like that and that makes sense. But I don't know the rules of why things work the way they work. I don't know what the past imperfect insensitive term is. I don't, like, you know what I mean? Like, I don't think of things like that. It's like auditory and I imitate and it comes out of like the body. But I think that you have a process that's a little bit more specific. Ross, can you sing in Spanish?
Maybe.
So
Carolina de la Luna.
I don't.
that's okay. Well, Carolina from the Moon. That's great. That's beautiful. Oh my gosh! And you do Colin Farrell. You do them all. It's a little crazy.
Farrell, yes, of course. Good. Yeah, haven't done him in a while actually. I don't know why I don't. He's great. He's great. He's a great actor. Really is. He's good. Yeah. So
See
it's all by the
there.
eyebrow. It's all by the eyebrow. Yeah. You just get right on the eyebrows and you're right as rain. Yeah, it's good. Yeah, cheers. I mean, he's all eyebrows. He's got caterpillars for eyebrows. He's just a massive caterpillars for eyebrows. You know, they're just crawling around, just doing his little dance on his face. You know,
Dance in the face.
yeah.
Wow. So I guess that's my question. When you watch him on the screen, do you go, oh, it's all about the eyebrows? Or you sit there and you do this for a bit, and then after a while you go, oh, it's here, it's not here, it's not like...
Well, I think there's little like, so you can just kind of look at where they're at regionally. Of course, I think if memory serves, I think he's from Dublin, so he's going to have, you know, I think Belfast is, you know, very different than what you're going to get in Dublin or Donegal or Sligo. You know, like it's going to be a very different sound. It's going to be a little bit more like not British, but it has the lilt to it, right? So it's got this already built and, you know, sort of higher pitched and a bit of it, not nasally per se, but a bit of a, you know, sort of like there is an Irish lilt that there is just unmistakable about the Irish people. And if you know how to tap into that, it's just, you know, right as fucking rain. Excuse me. But with him, you just do that, mixed in with the eyebrows, and then you're good.
All right, so all I have to do is do like this, and then I start talking like him. Nope, I sound like a leprechaun.
Go to your deeper register there, yeah.
Go into my deeper register. I'm also a woman, you know, so it's more difficult.
I like this character though. He's just a very confused Irish woman who's
very confused. I don't know if I'm drinking tea or coffee right now, but it tastes delicious.
Yeah.
Have you ever done like I used to learn accents with dialect tapes in college because I had to learn Bosnian and Scottish and like Nuyorican. That's where I learned my Nuyorican in college for a play. Like, have you just go, I'm going to listen and I'm going to imitate, or have you ever done any training for accents?
I did. You know, in college there were these really like I can't believe they gave us to it. Like in college we were doing like I did Dracula. The Passion of Dracula, and I got this really ridiculous, like very outdated, you know, take from like this is what a Romanian sounds like. I'm like, this is terrible. Like it was some of the things were just not helpful at all, and I found it more helpful to actually go and watch Romanian movies, and even if I couldn't understand what they were saying, just getting the cadence and the flow of that was actually more helpful than listening to an expert. And I think we get hung up on experts a lot of times. You just have to trust yourself. You really just have to like believe in your abilities and trust that you are subconsciously downloading that information every time you listen to it over and over. I mean, I'm all about repetition. Like Anthony Hopkins reads his script like 10 times before each time he does it. Like he's crazy about that. Like he just does it over and over and over again. And I think that's the way you get it down. You know, it's just like, and don't get frustrated too, right? Like when you get frustrated, that work starts to suffer. But when you believe in it, you can make mistakes, of course, but then when you trust your voice, it ends up sounding better, I think. Yeah.
What's your trick for learning all the pages you have to do for The Walking Dead?
I have a bit of a photographic memory, so like.
Damn you!
Sorry. No, I literally remember what the words look like on the page, and I just scan it. I just scan it each time. And I'm like that. I don't know if you've seen that meme of the kid who's like scooping words off the page. And
oh no! I want that to happen to me.
And it seems to work. I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah. Oh my God, that's amazing. I envy that. I've gotten better, but
yeah,
it's
just
tricky.
Repetition, really. Just really repetition.
I know, but sometimes you don't have the time, you know, like when I'm working on an audition that's like 10 pages and it's due the next day, you want to be down and not have to be looking at your script for the audition.
Well,
but
you could always do the Marlon Brando approach and have, you know, Gabby off you know, with
off on the side.
Rolling text, like you read it, you know?
Yeah. Gosh.
Yeah.
XXX Laura Lou XXXX says he does it with people too. I'm sure at cons you're like, hey Laura, hey Janice, hey Brando. Brando.
Oh yeah, I remember people's names pretty well. It's weird. Like it's like, and I'll never forget a face. Like I will not forget a face. It's weird. Like
That's
even
cool.
though it's been so long since I've done a proper convention, like I usually am like, yep. It's bizarre.
You know what's crazy? I've done 2 conventions in Las Vegas. One was like when Sombra first came out, and the last one was actually one of the last cons I went to before the pandemic hit. And at the very end, this kid comes up and he's like, "Hi, Carolina," and I go, "We've met before." And he goes, "Yeah, I came last time to say hi when you were here 2 years ago." And I was like, "I can't remember your name, but you work in welding, right? You like weld like trailers that belong in trailer parks." And he's like, "Yeah, how did you remember that?" And I'm like, "Because we talked about this." I'm like, "How's it going?" He goes, "Actually, I came to tell you that I'm now working for Verizon, so I get to work inside an office, and I'm really excited because I get air conditioning and I don't have to be outside welding in insane heat because it was freaking Las Vegas, you know?" And I'm like, and his name is Grant. But I couldn't remember his name at the moment. But I was like, dude, we had this full-on conversation. And it was so cute that he came to, like, update me on his, like, work status, you know?
Isn't it funny that, like, even just a 5-minute interaction with someone from years prior, you can just, like, bring that up from memory, no problem. It's weird. It's weird what our subconscious loves.
Yeah. Well, I think I also cared about this kid. It was so interesting that he worked in this job, you know? And I was like, I've never met somebody who welds trailers. Do you know what it? So, oh, sorry, I lost you.
Oh, I said I love welding.
Oh, really? Cool. When did you learn to weld, and why?
College. Well, it was required. We all had to do theater technical practicum. So, like, you know, we had the big face shields, and there's nothing cooler than, like, you know, because have you ever worn one of those masks?
No, not those. No.
So, like, you know, you have this little like straight rectangle across where your eyes are, and it's so dark until you start welding, and then you can see it, but like otherwise it'd just be too bright for your eyes. And it's the coolest thing to like properly weld something together and know that it's strong as hell. I don't know, I love that stuff.
You also like building and construction and you're a do-it-yourself kind of guy.
Yeah. Like
grow your own avocados but never give any to Carolina. To this day, I have not received an avocado from your garden, dude.
Are you shit? Is that true?
I'm serious, man. Yeah.
I would have given you plenty if you just asked.
Damn. So a question came up earlier. If working on the Avengers, you know, who was the best on set, and who did you get to meet and work with? And my question beyond that too is, you know, what was that experience like to get on that project? You obviously had to voice match the Deuterino that did that character before, but how were you, the Deuterino? How were you approached for this? What was that experience like?
So I was towards the end of filming season 8, I think, and this was 2017. So like it was like October of 2017. They had tried to get Hugo Weaving, who had played Red Skull before, and I think there was a scheduling conflict and business affairs couldn't work it out. And they were getting towards the end of the production, so they were like, we really need to get this locked in. And they had you know, some people audition, and there was even a guy who stand in with Josh Brolin and Zoe Saldana, and also with Scarlett Johansson and Jeremy Renner. But I never met any of them.
That sucks.
They filmed their portion with the stand-in months prior, apparently.
Yeah.
And they brought me in, and I get there, and they, you know, in the motion capture suit and putting the dots on the face. And I get in, it's like 150 people in this massive sound stage. And I was like, oh my God, it was not expecting all this. And it was amazing. I mean, like afterwards, the Russo brothers and the producers were like, thank you so much. Like we were really worried that we were gonna have to scrap this character because R&D for it cost, you know, several thousands of dollars, because they wanted to bring Russo back, but they didn't know if they were ever gonna get Hugo. So I mean, as a Marvel nerd myself, like, I always loved Red Skull. I used to draw Red Skull all the time as a kid. like it was like one of the coolest sensations ever working on that, honestly, and knowing that I get to be a part of that universe for the rest of my life is just, it's neat. It's really neat.
Yeah. So it was just 2 days on set, or 1 day?
1 day, just 1 day. It was
that
like
is so crazy.
7 hours, I want to say 7 or 8 hours. That was it. And I mean, that's the cool thing about when, mocap, you've done mocap many times, like when you're in that thing, all the data they need, I mean, when you're wearing the head camera over your face, all the data they need is collected from the camera on you, and also in the diodes in your suit. So like all that data, the motion, everything is downloaded to a computer, and it's like literally downloading that CGI information in real time in a very like
crazy,
loose, gray form, as you know. But like when it's all cut together, they've added all the mapping and everything else, and it's such a fun way to work, because it feels like, I don't know if you felt this way, but it felt like doing theater again. It felt like we were doing theater in the round, where like there is no proscenium arch. You don't have to look this way or this way everywhere. You're acting to everyone, and there is no place that you can, you have to worry about turning your back to or front to. Like, it's everywhere. Yeah.
Did you do training for theater?
Oh yeah. I mean, I got a BFA in theater from University of Colorado, and was actually very tempted to keep going in the Denver Center of Performing Arts. Had some great opportunities there, but I thought, I love theater, but film and TV is just a medium that I like best. I think I just work better in that medium, and that's where it came from. Yeah.
That's rad. So, it's funny, like a lot of the questions that we get are, how do you get into voice acting, or how do you get into acting? And people forget that, like, we like this when you were 6, I was 5. You start like, or you did your Johnny Carson.
Yeah.
And you're like, oh, okay, this is something cool. And then like we decide to go study it in college, and it's an investment, and it's time, and it's a commitment, and it's like training, and then we kind of realize that voice acting can be a thing, and but it's years and years of preparation, right?
It really is.
Yeah.
Yeah. But
it's hard work.
That being said, like the great thing about YouTube and everything is like it's democratized content, right? So like if you have something you want to shoot, if you think, oh, I really want to do this thing, you can literally do that right now on TikTok or whatever. Like there's so many tools now to make content for yourself and put it out there. I have friends who have no formal training whatsoever. They're just really brilliant and talented, naturally lucky, who are making, their own, making a ton of money just like putting stuff on TikTok and YouTube. It's amazing,
And then there's also the shit that's on TikTok and YouTube and gets millions of views. So, democracy. Yeah. What? So for The Walking Dead, had you auditioned a ton before? Was it, what was that like? Because did you know by the time you came on, it was already a pretty big hit, right? So you knew it wasn't like, oh, this pilot that may or may not get picked up.
Yeah, I auditioned for that show. It was ironically one of my favorite shows, and I wanted to get onto that, Mad Men, Breaking Bad, and or Sons of Anarchy. I made it onto 2 of them. But
you wanted to use your beard.
I did. I wanted to channel my Charlie Hunnam and be like, yo.
Wait, you said Walking Dead, Sons of Anarchy, and which other one?
Mad Men.
Oh, and that you got on that one.
Breaking Bad, yeah.
Yeah.
But didn't make it on the other 2, of course, but I was really happy to make it on, Mad Men for an episode. And then I auditioned for Walking Dead 2 times prior to it, and came very, very close to booking the role of Gareth. I don't think you watched the show, but he's a cannibal. I was really bummed when I didn't get that part. I was like, man, that could have been so amazing. But I had given up acting, as you know, I've told you this story a million times, but like I gave up acting 7 years ago and was fully prepared to move to New York, pursue photography and writing and art, just like do my own thing. Would have like a boring like 9-to-5 job to pay the bills, but then I was going to do my art at night. And I wanted that. I really wanted to live that life. And then a month after making that decision, I got the call for the audition, and I was like, initially no thanks. Like, I don't want to do that. Like, I don't want to go into New York with another rejection under my belt. And my manager convinced me to go out of respect for the casting director, be Ali Thomas, who were amazing. And I said, I do want to respect them and their time. They've fought for me a lot over the years. And so I went there not thinking anything, like, I'm just going to do this, say hi to them, hi and bye one last time, like, great to see you guys. Thanks for believing in me. I'm giving up as an actor. Like, I didn't tell them all that, but I was in the back of my mind. It's good to see you guys. And thank you for believing in me, because I sure didn't. And then a week later on my birthday, I was sick as a dog. And I got the call at 5:00 that night that I got the part, and I instantly felt better. Like, I felt like a champion.
And it was, at this point, it was a recurring, it was a series regular. What was it?
At that point, it was a recurring. It was just like, we don't know where this character is going. And I didn't know anything about the character either, because you audition with fake sides. And, when I finally got there and I met, all the people from the show that I loved, I was like, this is the most surreal moment ever,
Yeah.
Ended up being a huge, massive impact on my life, obviously, and I'm very grateful to be a part of it.
Holy cow. I've heard so many stories of a lot of the chicks on Orange is the New Black. They were like, I was giving up. I moved to North Carolina, and then, okay, this one last audition, fine, I'll do it. But because they don't even care anymore, it's like, well, sending this off. If it doesn't happen, whatever, I have my life. And then all of a sudden, boom, it's so crazy.
And people are like, well, what's the lesson there? And I said, it's not never gave up, because I gave up. Like, I fully quit, and I was like, I'm going to pursue something else. I'm going to try something else. And that's what's going to give me joy, I think, in my life. And I think that the real lesson is, like, you may think you'll only be happy if you have this job or this career or this man or woman in your life. Like, I will only be happy if I'm with this person or with this job or fulfilled in one way, shape, or form. But I think the real lesson here is that the universe, or whatever you want to call it, is always going to surprise you. And you may think that you're only going to be happy with this thing, but just stick around, wait a little bit. It only makes sense in hindsight. I think you get provided the lessons you're meant to learn at the right time.
Yeah. Well, I don't know if I'd call it that you were giving up. I think that you were actively making a choice of what you thought was going to make you happier. So you're not giving up on life. You are taking a different path. It's not this one, it's this one, because photography might be this thing that fulfills you. So you're just choosing something different. And then all of a sudden you send this audition and you're not putting all this pressure on this one thing that is supposed to make you happy.
Right. And I think the lack of desperation I had in that audition too, like, that was a huge part of it. Like, I think everyone can smell your desperation when you come in, like, I need this job. Oh my God, I'm so broke. What am I going to do? Please give me a job, And that was the first time in my whole life, even going back to, like, when I was a kid auditioning for stuff in elementary school, that I literally did not care if I booked the part at all. And I think that's another, is like, when you take out the expectation or the need to get something and you just let it happen. I know it's an easy bit of advice to throw around, but it's true. Like, once you just go and let it happen on its own, that's when the good stuff happens.
Yeah. Someone just tipped us $20. Thank you so much, Manong. I've never been tipped. Oh, no, I was a waitress. I got tipped quite a bit. Do you know Sissy Jones? Have you ever worked with her?
I've never worked with her, but I know who that is,
yeah, she's super talented. And she was saying that our agent that we had in common at a time was like, Sissy, I can hear your desperation in your voice slate. Like, we need to change that, And it's like, wow. And it's just kind of like, we need to relax a little bit, settle the fuck down, and not freak the fuck out so much, because then you're not gonna enamor anybody with your charm if you're like, hey, I need to get this role, They're like, they're a little creepy. Let's not cast them,
And I think also when you just have the aspect of play, that's why I always tell actors, like, don't do what I did. Like, I'm a very good cautionary tale of, like, do not get yourself into crazy 6-figure debt so that you really need every job to work out. I was, convinced that the only way I was going to make it was if I was working constantly in my craft and doing a million things at once. And I was ignoring my finances to a large degree and letting that credit card debt just pile up year after year or month after month. I had like 21% interest rate on several of those cards for 4 cards. Like that stuff adds up quick. So I would just say, like, don't do the medical studies like I did. Don't do all the crazy jobs. Like, I mean, testing non-FDA approved drugs on your body for money. Like, don't get so desperate that you're doing that stupid stuff, because that's what desperate people do. And I'm not knocking that from my past, of course. And if that's what you're doing, I'm not knocking you. I'm just saying, like, don't let it get so bad that you are putting yourself in a position where you're actually harming your mental and physical health.
Yeah.
You have to make sure you have a bit of a safety net,
Yeah. Because that's the only way you're going to produce good work and be a good actor and be a good person, is if you're taking care of yourself. And for sure.
Exactly. It's that old adage about the masks in the plane, like put your mask on first before helping others.
There you go.
You can't imagine your art is the child next to you that can't put on the mask for themselves. Like you have to make sure you're okay before you put on the mask next to you.
Advice with Ross Marquand. Yeah. What's one of the favorite animated voices that you've gotten to work on? I guess for Family Guy, you go on to do impressions as well.
Yeah. They mostly, I'm like their like celebrity impression pitch hitter. Like I come in off the bench, I'm like, what do you need, boss?
Just like that. Really, hey, what do you need? I'm here.
No, they make me do some original characters, but for the most part, it's like, can you do George Bush or Garth Brooks or, so on and so forth, Harrison Ford. But I did get a chance to meet Patrick Warburton. I think I told you this story.
Yeah, go to town.
He played Joe on the show, of course. And I was leaving, I just done my session, and he was coming in, and Jackie Slito, who does the casting over there, and she was like, "Oh, Ross, you got to meet Patrick. He's I was like, "Oh no, of course, I know exactly who he is." And she's like, "Oh, Patrick, he actually does an impression." He was like, "Oh, really? Let's hear it." And I said, "Oh, cool, yeah, hey, that's all right. I'd love to do an impression of you. That'd be terrific. All right." And he looked at me. He's like, "I don't sound anything like that." And it was just like, okay. But like,
you're like,
I met him again at a convention years later, and he was so fun. He's just a great guy. And like those memories of like getting to work with some of my favorite voice actors, like what he did with Emperor's New Groove and Family Guy, of course, like that's what I want to do with my life. I think after The Walking Dead is over, like I just want to work in fun, animated, full voiceover stuff for the rest of my life,
Yeah, I've realized how much fun it can be in the booth, especially when you get to do group sessions. When you're alone, not as fun, but I do love getting to watch people work.
Well, and it's funny because like you and I, whoever you are, you will always be looked at as this person, No one's going to look at, like, I got to play this really crazy 3-eyed alien one time who's like 4 feet tall and just like this really conniving, sinister character. And I would never get to play that based on my normal speaking voice. But if you're able to augment it and change your voice a little bit and do different, voices, like I think you're able to play a great number of characters, and that's what I love so much about voice work. Because like, the world is your oyster,
Yeah, look, yes, even adorable. Ross is in everything. Ross is everything, and he's in everything. Yes, Lynn and Fluffy, you are correct. Obliterated is Patrick's. That's one of my character's voice lines for a new video game I'm in. Have you worked in video games? And do you game? Was one of the questions we had.
Do I game? Okay.
Ew, I don't want to know if Trump games. Can you tell me if Brad Pitt games?
Yeah. So listen, me and Angie used to game all the time. We were on the Sega Genesis, and we loved playing with Sonic the Hedgehog, Mortal Kombat, little old X-Men, old school X-Men, right? Loved playing Gambit. She was always Psylocke. Yeah, whatever. It's cool, yeah. There's only 3 buttons. Nowadays, you got 15 buttons you got to push all the time. It's crazy. Yeah, I'm more old school.
Does Christopher Walken play Overwatch or any first-person shooters?
Yeah, of course. He loves Cold War, Call of Duty. I can't express how much he loves playing Call of Duty. I love taking out a noob from long range with a sniper rifle. It's so much fun. You just camp out somewhere in a tower. You see them driving around like Rambo, so rambunctious, reckless, if you will. And I just love getting up there and taking them out one by one.
Wait, does Justin Timberlake play Red Dead Redemption?
Oh my god, I love Red Dead Redemption. Are you joking me right now? Like, I love riding on the horse and like shooting at the same time. Like, it's so crazy. Like, what? It's an open map, an open field. It's so crazy. I love that stuff. It's wild. Hashtag what? Hashtag party monster. Hashtag cowboys and it. I've had too much coffee.
That was amazing. Oh my god. So you know what's crazy is I've told you this when in other times, but I'll tell the chat. When I'd met you at a con, and then we met up to chat some more in Atlanta because I was at another con, and we started talking. And as soon as we're in deep in conversation, I'm like, "Oh, you kind of have a George Clooney timbre to your voice," and you're like, "Yeah," and you kind of went into your Clooney impression, and I was like, "Oh shit, you're really good at that." And then I knew you were on Walking Dead. I didn't realize you were the guy who had been in that black and white video for, was it Vanity Fair?
Vanity Fair, yeah.
Vanity Fair, which I had watched years prior. And so when I put two and two together, I'm like, this guy's really talented with the voices besides just the Walking Dead stuff. And it was crazy because I didn't, it all came together that you did all these wonderful things.
Thank you. Mm-hmm. Yeah. I love it. I enjoy that stuff. It's just like a fun little challenge for me every time, I don't know. I'm a dork. I don't know. Like you, we're dorks. We stay home a lot. We talk to ourselves. It's like,
you stay home a lot. I party all the time. Okay, dude.
Okay, well, that's irresponsible. It's a pandemic.
It's a pandemic. I party by myself. I didn't say that I'm going out to underground nightclubs.
You do a lot of dance parties, which I appreciate.
In my life, just all by myself. Yeah. I was like, have I been to dance parties? Yeah.
Videos and whatnot.
Dude, I love salsa dancing for sure. And music, I was thinking about it though, man, dancing, I miss it. I miss being able to just hear music in a bar and be like, yeah,
What I've been doing during this pandemic, and my friend up in San Francisco just pinged me one day and she was like, hey, what are you doing? It was midnight. And it was, I think, last April. And she's like, hey, do you want to join this chat room where we're dancing to EDM music? And I was like, go on. So I was at this Twitch channel where it was live EDM music, and we just Zoomed each other. It was 20 people on the Zoom call, and we all just danced our faces off for 5 hours. It was great.
Yeah. Someone's like, Carolina, don't go out. Guys, I have not gone out partying. I don't know what accent that was. It just happened. I dance home alone, at home alone. I was thinking about keep the change, you filthy animal, because I said home alone. Sorry.
I was just doing this.
I didn't see you. I was deep in thought. How was it the line? Yeah, man. So we're keeping half sane in this pandemic, right?
Yeah. I think as long as you find ways to keep your mind and body agile and healthy and everything, you're good. But I have to challenge myself because at the beginning of the pandemic, I was massively depressed. I didn't get out of bed for months, and it was just. And I think a lot of us felt that way of oh my gosh, how long is this going to last? What is this? And I think we're going to have to live with it for a while, obviously for some time, but. There's a lot of hope we had in the vaccines, and I think that we're just going to find new ways to live with this and still live our daily lives like we would.
Make it work.
And, we're going to get those scuba diver guys, we're going to have, Cooper was talking about this on set the other day. He was like, we're going to have these scuba things.
Yeah, just walk around with bubble heads. Yeah.
Yeah. It's going to be great.
Yeah. It's funny because obviously right now we're not living the pandemic that we experienced in March, April, May, even June. But now I just feel like it's just getting long, like there's a little, and I'm slightly envious of getting to go back to work like you have, because even though there's a lot of COVID testing happening that I'm sure you have to do weekly, the way they're handling sets is very careful. You have to be very careful, but it almost gives you a sense of normalcy where you can do your job and not record in your tiny closet. My closet is like a 2x2 and I'm stuck in there. I did a 4-hour session in there yesterday where I was like, I can't sit, I can't stretch, I can't move because it's tiny,
Yeah, but that's how mine is too. I mean, it's just like, it's, you make do with what you have, but obviously we want to get back to work and be able to like sit in a comfortable room and do these things. But this is making us all, a little bit, Saint juice said, yeah.
Have Saint in the membrane, like Marshy Moo said.
Saint in the membrane, yes. Ooh, Cypress Hill, yes. Ooh, love. I love the wordplay. Ooh.
Guys, that's Jeff Goldblum.
Yes. Springtime, my favorite season. The flowers are blooming, much like my last name. Oh, sorry.
I was like, Marquand? Oh, Bloom. What? Give me your Clooney. He's just so delightful. He's like an Antonio Banderas. It's just.
Well, Carolina, I really appreciate that you like that voice. I think for me, it's all about about Como, where I live, of course, in Italy, just about an hour north of Milan, and Nespresso. What else, right?
Nespresso. What else?
He's I just realized now he's like a more soft and more regal Beetlejuice almost. He's like, because Beetlejuice like, hey, how you doing? Get on, what's going on here? What are you doing? Hey, say it works.
Oh.
Hey, get on. Like, but then you just tone it down a little bit, and George comes out.
Are there any, because I was thinking like, what was the dude I was trying to, I was watching Bernie Sanders on the news the other day, and I was just kind of like going into his weird little lilt. It was close enough. And I make fun of Eros Ramazzotti, isn't it? Eros Ramazzotti, remember him, Italian singer? In Colombia, we'd listen to his song in Spanish. Cosa más bella que tú. And it's like this very nasal thing. But I don't really do any dudes. Like, I do dudes, but I don't do dudes. You know what I mean? What? Do you do any women, impressions of women? Not do you do women? That's a whole other conversation.
Right. I've tried. It's years of smoking has kind of ruined my ability to go too far into a believable female voice. But I've. Is
there a fun one that you can like?
Well, Audrey Hepburn, or Katharine Hepburn rather. She's the only one. Oh God, I can't believe what's happening here. I really need you to calm down. That's like the closest I can get. But there's really very few voices that I can emulate.
Or like try to sing like Alanis Morissette. I mean, there's just characters that are like a little bit. They're so over the top.
I did. I used to do a Bjork actually, and I could also do. So I'll do Bjork, and I also did Penelope Cruz, but I only do like one, as you know.
Yeah.
Open your eyes.
Open your eyes.
I work as a dental assistant.
Yeah. Oh my God. You should try my character impressions. Okay. Thank you, Mercy. You're a great idea. So Reyes is Brazilian, and her ultimate is here comes the party. Now you have to say that. Go.
Do it again.
Here comes the party.
Here comes the party.
It's cute. That's really cute. Sombra says, mess with the best and die like the rest.
Mess with the best and die with the rest.
Cute enough, guys. See, we got him to do some Sombra and some Reyes. It's great. That's great. Good job. I'm keeping those jobs, though. I'm not giving them to you.
Not my finest.
You were saying, Alanis, we spoke about... Oh, Shakira. You could do an impression of Shakira. being killed or something. Oh yeah. Okay, Smash Bro, you get this one. I'm on fire. Touch me and you'll get burned.
I'm on fire. Touch me. What is it again?
And you'll get burned.
And you'll get burnt.
Cool. Okay, guys. I mean, luckily he doesn't voice Sombra. We'll
I need more time. You can't put me on the spot like this.
Yeah.
Wow.
Do you know who? Wow. Oh my God. Lately, I do with Gabby. I'll just be like, oh wow, and it's not a good. What's his name?
Owen Wilson.
Owen Wilson. But I'm like, I get it. Yeah, there's something about the sing song.
He's just so delightful to listen to. He's just like, I could listen to him just like read a book about anything and be like, yeah. This is,
so what? Give me an example of like horticulture or like, I don't know, what book would he be reading?
I'd like to read a nursery rhyme or something, if that'd be all right. Little Miss Muffet sat on her tuffet, eating her curds and whey, when along came a spider and sat down beside her and said, hey, what's in the bowl? Wow.
Did you just make that up?
No.
Like, doesn't curds and whey? No, Little Miss Muffet sat on a tuffet eating her Christmas pie. Like, curds and whey? Where did you learn this nursery rhyme?
Curds and whey. It's curds and whey.
No, let's Google it right now.
I think it's curds and whey.
No, you were wrong. You were so wrong.
I'm pretty sure it's curds and whey. I've never heard it. It is curds and whey. Yeah, thank you. It's not Christmas pie. Where did you hear that?
Little Miss Muffet.
Curds and whey, yeah. Curds and whey. See, look at the comments. Yeah, see? You're wrong, Ravasa.
I can't believe this. I cannot believe this.
You're very wrong.
It's an English nursery rhyme. I still eating her curds and whey. What? No, I can't believe it. I can't believe it. Okay, I thought you had just made up the curds and whey part, and I thought it was really funny. Do you know who Arthur Morgan is?
Oh, you cut out. What did you say?
Do you know who Arthur Morgan is?
Arthur Morgan?
He's a character in Red Dead Redemption. So.
Oh yes. Isn't that Ben?
Big Ben Davis plays another character.
Okay, it's been
Arthur is Roger Clark.
Right.
Yeah. Big Ben, I forget the name of his character. You guys know.
Ben. Yeah, Ben. Have you had him on the show?
I have.
I love Ben.
Dutch. Thank you. He plays Dutch.
Dutch.
Yeah, I've had him and Rob and Roger. They've been lovely. It's been real fun. I'll be back, my pretty. Oh yes, look at you. Now they're quoting some Overwatch. You know, that's what happens. Oh my gosh, it's 1:03, Rosito.
Gee.
We've been talking for an hour. Look how time flies when you're having fun.
Well, we always are like this.
Oh, little Jack Horner sat in the corner eating his Christmas pie. He stuck in his thumb, pulled out a plum, and said, what a good boy am I. See, little Miss Tuppet and little Jack Horner can go mix up their stories. Thank you so much.
Okay, but you're not right. You're going other.
Look, Timberwolf is helping me out, and I am very grateful for that. Listen, I am also from Colombia, so the fact that I know these little American/English nursery rhymes is impressive.
I'm actually very impressed, yeah.
I'm very, very impressed.
Very impressive. Very, very impressive. I gotta say, okay.
Ross, is there anything you would like to share with the chat of things you're working on, things you're excited about, where they can find you on the socials because you need more followers?
I'm on the socials. It's just my name. You can see it there, Ross Marquand. But I'm just working on The Walking Dead for the next year, for the foreseeable future. But honestly, I just want to say to everybody, like, I know this is a very, very demoralizing time, but I really do believe we're going to get through this, and we just have to keep our spirits up. And please be sure to check on each other, call each other. Love yourself as much as humanly possible. Don't get down in the dumps like I tend to, especially at the beginning of the thing. And just know that it's going to get over. It will be done sooner than later. So hang in there. And I'm sending you all a lot of love.
Hang in there. Yeah, guys, absolutely. Oh, there's Mercia. I'm sorry. She's all the way in Wales. Can you do a good Welsh accent?
No, that's like my white whale. That and DiCaprio. I've been trying for years, and Ryan Gosling too. Been trying for years to do a Welsh accent. It's so tricky.
Yeah. Okay, it's okay. It just, thought I'd ask. I want to thank all of the Ross Marquand fan clubs that joined today. There's been lots of comments about that, which is really fun. Danny, I'm thinking we can raid Lucio soon, but I wanted to let you know in 25 minutes, I'm going to be cooking with Lucy Pohl on her Twitch channel. She needed a guest walking her through a recipe, so I'm going to teach her a very awesome, delicious, healthy salad that I make because she's learning how to cook. So if you want to join Lucy, definitely do that in a half hour because I'm going to be there with her. But Johnny's live now, so I thought, let's raid him. Do you know what raiding is, dude? Everyone's just gonna show up on his channel and they're gonna be like, whoa, Carolina Ravassa just raided me, awesome. And they get to hang with him if they want, or they can watch something else if they want. But it's fun to just say hello. You gotta find out about those beluga whales. Oh my God, Tapestry, this is funny. So I sent, side tangent before we hang up here, Ross. The recipe that Lucy is doing includes beluga lentils. And I'm sending her a voice note yesterday. Beluga lentils, these tiny little lentils, and they're delicious. And I'm sending her a voice note, and I'm like, yo, so you're going to have to get some beluga lentils. Beluga what? No, shut up. Guys.
Oh, the internet's just cutting out. What?
Yeah, right. I just think it's funny that she has sent this information along to Tapestry. Anyway, I don't know who you are, but I'm guessing you assist Lucy in stuff because nobody else would know that I sent her this voice note. So
wait, I gotta ask, what is this? What does it mean that I'm a big boomer?
Oh, like baby boomers.
Yeah, I know. I'm a millennial.
No, I know. They joke when we can't handle technology, and they call us boomers because we're old. So.
Well, I was joking about a bad internet connection. I was just...
No, earlier when your sound went off, they said you were having tech problems. It was at the very beginning that the boomer stuff started. It wasn't about the internet just now.
I'm actually very tech savvy, okay? Very tech savvy.
Sure you are. Guys, it's been lovely having you. Thank you so much for joining us. Check him out at Ross Marquand on all the socials.
All the socials.
And then keep an eye out for The Walking Dead because some new stuff's going to come.
It's so boomers.
What?
Oh, man. Oh, I'm just getting slaughtered in the comment section. So many boomers.
Dude, they call me grandma, okay? Like, you're fine. We're just older, okay?
I'm a millennial. God.
We love you, Ross. Guys, keep booming and booping. And let's raid Johnny Cruz!
The planet.
Have fun. Raid. I will talk to you soon.
What? Oh my God, the shout outs. Guys, I haven't shouted you out. Okay. There's only 3. It's not a lot. Cool Trainer D, subscribe for 1 month, tier 1. Woo! Say congrats in a funny voice, Ross.
Congratulations.
Yes. We have Corn Relish subscribed for 2 months at tier 1.
Corn Relish.
Okay. Anchormania gets a boop. Boop.
Boop.
Thank you. And Regal here subscribed with Prime. Thank you.
Gracias. Mil gracias.
Mil gracias.
Mil gracias.
The raid got canceled. It's going to happen again. Don't worry. Guys, we love you. Boop.
So thank you. We're going to get our team back together. We lost 2 because they say